Have you ever wondered how to get great cinematic shots with your drone? Well, I'm going to show you how to do this with any drone, and it's much easier than you think. G'day superstars. Over the Christmas break, my family and I managed to have a holiday in Mount Gambier in South Australia. The scenery there was absolutely beautiful, so I got the drone out to take some various shots using different techniques. So here's a short video showing you those shots, and when I come back I'm going to show you how you can get the same results. Now before we get started and going through all these shots, let's go through the basics of the controller. If you're a beginner, you're going to need to know these basics before you begin flying and trying to get these shots that I've shown you earlier. If you're not a beginner and you already know how to fly a drone, then feel free to fast forward this bit. This is the drone I use every day. This is a DJI Mavic 2 Pro. If you're wondering what all the red stickers are and what the red propellers are for, it's basically to keep birds away from attacking my drone, because in Australia we have a bit of a problem with birds, crows and so on attacking the drone. The stickers are just some reflective tape I got on Amazon, and the propellers are made by a company called Master Air Screw. They're called stealth propellers. They're designed to have a different sound so it doesn't irritate the birds as much. Okay, let's launch the drone and let's talk about the controls. Let's start with the toggle on the left hand side. If you push it forward, your drone will go up. If you bring it down, your drone will go down. If you go left, your drone will rotate left. And if you go right, your drone will rotate right. The controller on the right, if you press forward, your drone will fly forward. If you press back, your drone will come back. If you go left, your drone will tilt and move to the left while facing forward. And if you go right, your drone will move right while facing forward. Obviously you can combine these two sticks to get you very interesting shots. On the front of the controller you have a wheel on the left here. If you pull the wheel left, you'll see the camera goes down, and if you pull the wheel right, you'll see it goes the opposite way. That means you can tilt the camera down while flying or up while flying and so on. This next one's my favorite though, because you need to actually hold on to the controller very well and do this one. It's called, hit that like button down below. First set of shots are the easy ones. These are the ones that everyone does, which is forward and back, left and right. And I'm going to show you how to do that now. This shot here is over Blue Lake in South Australia. The lake actually is this color on a sunny day. So if you just push the controller forward, it'll fly forward while you're recording, and that's your shot. That's moving forward. I always recommend when you're doing a shot like this to have things in the foreground, like you're flying under trees and the trees in the foreground sort of go past the camera, or you're flying through gates. I've got a shot here in a real estate video, as you can see, where I'm flying forward and the stuff in the foreground's moving, and it makes that shot look a bit more dynamic, rather than having it really high up in the air and just filming you moving forwards or backwards. It can be a bit boring. Forward is really good when you want to bring people into your video, and when you want to exit that video and bring people away from it, say it's coming to an end, you want to bring your video backwards. That sort of shows you pulling away from the subject, and you can fade to black and it's the end of your video. Of course, the next shot is left or right using the right controller, as I showed you earlier. So you just go left, and of course you do the opposite way, you'll go right, and as you get the similar shot. This next set of shots is called the top-down shots. You basically get your drone directly above your subject. You rotate that wheel on the bottom of the controller, so the camera is facing straight down, and then you fly straight down or straight up at whatever speed you like to go. This shot here is a shot of a sinkhole in South Australia, in Mount Gambier. And I started down low and brought the shot upwards because I thought it would be more dynamic to show the garden first, and then realize that you're actually looking at a sinkhole as it pans up. And of course, as I was going up, I used rotate on the left side of the controller just to give it a bit of a spin, so it looked a bit more dynamic rather than just flying up into the air. So when you're doing top-down shots and you're starting at the bottom, you get a really good sense of what's there, and then you can reveal what's coming as you go upwards. If you're trying to zoom in on something from above, I do it the other way. Obviously, I start at the very top and then bring the drone down. It's almost like it's zooming in on your subject. The next set of shots is a bit different. It's what I call a wrap left or a wrap right. I mean, I'm sure there's a proper name for it, but that's just what I call them. Basically what I do is I move left on the controller if I'm wrapping left, and at the same time I rotate slowly on the drone. So it's like the drone is flying around the subject like this, as opposed to just going across. Now, I've done this on the lake, obviously, and it looks really great, but if you do it on smaller objects, it looks much, much better. Like this shot of this house, I was doing for a property video. You can see I'm wrapping around the house, and it's almost like it's rotating the house in the shot. Once again, how to get this, you're pushing left on the right controller, and the harder you push it, the faster it'll be, so control that speed. And on the left controller, you're pushing actually into the right, so you're basically trying to turn the drone into your shot. And if you can hold on to your controls and keep them nice and steady, you get a really, really good dynamic shot. And when you're doing a wrap right, on the right controller you push to the right, controlling that speed again, and on the left controller you push to the left. It's the opposite. The next shot I like to do is what I call a forward and pull up. As I'm moving forward, I'm pulling up on the controls. Basically how you do that is on the right side of your controller, the stick, you push forward, controlling that speed to however speed you want to go, and you're using the wheel at the front to roll that camera upwards, which is pushing that wheel to the right. That will bring the camera up as you go forward and reveal what you're trying to shoot. The opposite of this is this shot, which is a forward and pull down, which is exactly the same thing. I'm going forward, but I'm pulling down on the wheel on the controller to actually show the camera going down into the subject, like in this sinkhole shot I've got here. These next couple of shots are a little bit different, but also similar to what I just showed you. So what we're doing is we're going to put the drone in a static position, and we're going to use the left controller stick to rotate your drone. And as you rotate your drone, we're going to use the wheel to pull up the camera. So we're going to turn the drone, rotating it, so it's from one position. It's just hovering in one spot. So it's not actually moving forward or backwards. We're turning the drone using the stick on the left, which we're going to push that right for this shot. And as we push right, we're rolling that wheel up. So the camera will come up at the same time. And this other example is exactly the same, but we're using the same stick, but we're pushing that left and rolling the camera up as it moves left at the same time also. I love doing these types of videos. They're so much fun, and I hope I'm helping you out in some way, shape or form. If you click here, you can see a whole bunch of drone accessories you can buy for your drone, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.